Number 8, alcohol. I kind of mentioned this in my graduation video, but I'll just say this again. In Denmark, you are allowed to buy alcohol when you're 16. You can buy beer and wine and some types of shots. It just has to have less than 16% of alcohol in it. And then when you're 18, you can buy every alcohol on the shelves. So you can go to bars and you can go partying and you can drink a lot of alcohol. So I know that in America you have to be 21 to buy alcohol and go dancing and go clubbing and so on. In Denmark you have to be 18 to do that. And as I said, you have to be 16 to buy beer and so on. So I think that adds to our huge drinking culture. So every party that you go to in Denmark, there's alcohol. It makes a lot of peer pressure from others, and as if you're no fun if you don't drink, because it's so within us that when we hang out with other people, there's alcohol involved. And that's almost every time. And sometimes it's fun and you want to do it, but other times you don't wanna, or you're maybe going to a family party the next day or something, and you decline and say no thanks. But then almost for that entire evening, people will just try to peer pressure you and keep asking, why don't you drink? Why don't you drink? Why don't you drink? And I know that this sounds really bad, and it might be. And I think that it's because the age is set so low for when you can buy alcohol. And there are so many young people going to parties and getting wasted. But I also feel like it's good for people to get to know alcohol and know what it can do to you. Because if you haven't tried it, you're gonna want to try it, and I believe that it just gets worse then. And I think that the American age of 21 is a bit too late, because I believe that most people, or well, a lot of people, they would want to drink before that and maybe buy it illegally or get someone else to buy it. And you don't have to do that in Denmark. You can just go ahead and buy it yourself. But I see ups and downs with both. So I'm 20 and I went to my first party and got drunk when I was 15. And got my friend to buy me some alcohol, and then a few months later I was old enough myself, and I have been wasted quite a lot of times. I haven't really found the balance, so I often drink too much, but sometimes it's also just enough, and then it's just really fun. So yeah, I'm not promoting alcohol, and I don't say that you should go buy it illegally. So I realized as I'm editing this that I didn't actually come to a conclusion or anything, but I just want to say that in this video I'm simply trying to define the differences between the US and Denmark, and I accidentally started talking a lot about whether I think one was better than the other, and that actually wasn't my point at all. Number 9, makeup. So the next one is makeup. And I know that there are a lot of Danes who use makeup and so on, but I think there are more Danes who don't, or use a very minimum of makeup. Whereas I feel like in America, every girl wears makeup or some type of makeup. You know, I don't even own a foundation. I don't even really know what it's for. I guess it's for your skin, but I don't know. I've never used it. I've never had it. And most Danes don't, have a makeup routine or something. A lot of people, they put on a bit of mascara and maybe something on the eyes or something on an everyday basis. But so few Danes, have the whole thing with a lot of cream on your face. It's just not that common. Whereas I feel like a lot of Americans, they do everything, and maybe not as much as, some of the movie stars and people you see on Instagram all the time, but I feel like they have a lot more of a makeup routine and skincare and adding all kinds of products to your body, where I think Danes just try to go a bit more like low profile and natural. Number 10, confidence. Last but not least, this one's really mostly just my perspective on things and how I think about Americans, but I feel like in general, I know there are exceptions, in general, Americans have a lot higher self-esteem than Danes do. I feel like the average American have this feeling like, I can do it, I can deal with life, and I can do anything if I just believe it. And I think that it has something to do with the American dream and people growing up with the thought of, if you do anything you can, you are the best goddamn person in this world. Whereas in Denmark, you always grow up with the feeling of, but am I good enough? And there's a whole topic on this that I will make another video on, about something called the Jante law. And I think even though it's not an actual law, people think about it and feel it a lot. And it's also just that those Americans that I've met, I feel like they are a bit more cocky and just are very positive, but also very much out there and, just meeting the world and going on and so on. Whereas I think Danes are more taken back and just, okay, let's watch this scenery and find out what's happening, and then I'll see what decisions I make. Whereas in my perspective, Americans just, I don't know, go out there and try the whole thing. And yeah. And I don't know if it's true, but it's my perspective on things. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you like this video. And remember that these are mostly just my point of views, and that the reality may be a lot different than how I see it. But that was it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. Bye guys!